consciousness. Now, here's Tom.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to the Saturday Sports Page. I'm your host, Tom Schmitz, coming to you live from the palatial studios of WOCA Radio, just outside the food court entrance to the Paddock Mall. I'm joined this morning, fresh back from a fun-filled evening at Busch Gardens.
A late one.
Luke Sylvia, you roller coastered out?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's just a wrong answer.
Well, no.
Never roller coastered out.
Let me talk. So we got there around 8 because it was a summer nights promotional thing they've been doing, and this was the last weekend. So my girlfriend and I decided that we would go.
How much?
How much? What?
Pretty good price.
Yeah. It's $95 for a year and $85 for a day. So
you paid the $95.
We paid the $95 last December. Yeah. So we went and. We only did 2 roller coasters because we didn't have time. There was a show thing at 9 and there was fireworks, and we left around I don't know, I think like 11:45 and got back around 1:30.
So let me get this right.
Mm-hmm.
You went for something that didn't even start till 8.
Yes.
And you left at
11:45 or something like that.
So
yeah.
you only were there less than 4 hours.
Yeah.
And you had some show you had to go see.
Oh, there was a show there, and so we wanted to see.
What show?
It was called Kinetics. It's their summer show, but it's like acrobatics and stuff like that. Some stuff that I could never imagine doing myself. And my girlfriend's a dancer, so she was thoroughly entertained.
It's like a Cirque du Soleil type thing. Right?
Yeah, it is. So it was good, minus the band in the background and the vocalists were
it's
not
in that big
great,
theater that's right there.
It was in Gwazi Field.
Oh, it's in Gwazi Field.
Yeah, it was because right after the show they said turn around for our fireworks display, and turn around, and then they had fireworks going up in the back. So that was pretty cool.
You know why there's a Gwazi Field?
Why is that?
There's no longer a Gwazi roller coaster.
Yep.
You know why I don't have a season's pass to Busch Gardens anymore?
Because Gwazi isn't a roller coaster.
Because there's no Gwazi there. The wooden roller coaster is dying out, and it shouldn't. The wooden roller coaster is a fantastic way to get around things.
A lot of people would disagree with that, I think.
Yeah, but have you ever been to Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio?
No.
They have wooden roller coasters there, top out at about 85 miles an hour. It's pretty good. You don't always have to twist and turn and go upside down to have a great time on a roller coaster. The Great American Scream Machine at Six Flags in Atlanta, huge wooden roller coaster. Tops out about 68 miles an hour. Fantastic roller coaster. 147-foot drop to start the roller coaster. Fantastic roller coaster. You don't always have to do flips and turns to have a good roller coaster. I used to be part of a club. It's called the Roller Coaster Enthusiast of America. And if you go on their website, they have trips all around the country. And they meet and go to different roller coaster things. And the wooden roller coaster is when you go to a park that is there because of wooden roller coasters, it's the highest attended of the roller coaster enthusiast.
Wow.
Or it was 5-6 years ago. I got out of it 5-6 years ago because now my neck and my back just won't allow me to ride roller coasters like I used to ride roller coasters. I would stand in line to ride like Dueling Dragons. Like, is it still called Dueling Dragons?
At Universal?
Fire and Ice.
Yeah.
I would stand in line to ride Fire, get off of Fire, go stand in line just to ride Ice. Somebody said, why would you do that? It's the same exact roller coaster. Didn't matter. Had to ride both of them.
Yeah, I can't.
Like the Cheetah Chase is one of my favorite things.
Yeah, we did that last night.
That's one of my favorite things. And it's a little kiddie roller coaster. It doesn't do anything. You're in a single car, but it looks like you may end up in the parking lot at every turn.
Yeah. The Cheetah one at Busch Gardens. We got in line for that, and it said about a 45-minute wait. It wasn't too bad. So we got in line, and we'd been in line for about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. This guy comes up to us, and he's in the fast pass lane.
Right.
And he said, hey, they're just two of you? And we said, yeah. So he said, here, take these. So we just got the fast pass line. But it was super random, and we were very grateful for that.
It's so funny how a 45, that little bitty roller coaster, which isn't, there's not a whole lot scary on it except for how it yanks you around.
It's just long. It's a long coaster, yeah.
But the line for it is incredibly long all the time.
It is.
And then right next to it, the Python's right next to it, right?
I think so.
Yeah. And it's a little one-loop roller coaster and everything. But it's, it's in its day, it was,
yeah,
it was a heyday. So
yeah, Sheikah's my favorite.
I love Sheikah. It's a great roller coaster. The roller coaster I don't like, those Hulk at Universal.
Really?
Don't like it.
You don't like it?
Don't like it. Because where the bars come down and where my head, it beats my ears to death. And it just, it hurts. Rock and Roller Coaster, Aerosmith's Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios.
Right.
Great. The Expedition Everest.
Yeah.
At Animal
Kingdom. You go backwards.
Fantastic. Yeah. So, don't get me wrong. I love my roller coasters. I just can't ride them anymore. It is Saturday sports, though, and that's not roller coaster, so let's talk some sports. We had the first scrimmage yesterday for the Florida Gators. We'll talk with Buddy Martin at 10:15, get his thoughts on what came out of Gator Camp. Jim McElwain, in the quote of the day, said he didn't sleep much Thursday night, Luke. What did he say exactly? I didn't sleep much.
Yeah, he said he was nervous about the scrimmage on Friday.
Because of the new kids, all the new kids, and all the things. His exact quote was, I kind of didn't sleep last night, thinking this could be a disaster. But it seems he was pretty happy with what happened at practice. He said, I was very pleased to where we are at this point. We have to keep loading the wagon, keep teaching. Will Grier got off to a fast start, was victimized by some drops, according to Coach McElwain. Coach McElwain also said Treon Harris moved the ball with the second-team offense better than Will Grier did. So, sounds like that, still 50-50 with the quarterbacks, although Buddy Martin has said he believes it's Will Grier's job to lose now. And you said you think Will Grier probably should get the nod as well.
Yeah, I think we just need a different change at the helm. I think it'd be good for us. We need a lot to change on offense for us. We always have a pretty incredible defense. If our defense is good as if our offense is as good as our defense, I think we would have been the national championship last year.
Well, Grier stood out to people who've been to Florida practices as sharper in the early segments of practice. But if you remember last year, Treon Harris started slow in fall practice but improved, and that's how he became Jeff Driscoll's backup, and Will Grier was able to redshirt last year. So people say they still lean towards Grier, but if Treon's doing the slow start in the fall practice again and keeps improving, by the end of fall practice, it may be more of a coin flip than it is right now. We'll talk to Buddy Martin about that at 10:15. Also last night, Thursday night you had 6 preseason games. Last night, 6 preseason games. But last night, the beginning of the push to the Super Bowl for the Atlanta Falcons. They took on the Tennessee Titans, who rolled out the number 2 overall pick, Marcus Mariota. And the Falcons defense looked good against a rookie. They caused him to throw an interception in his first series, fumbled in his second series. I was watching the game and I said, wow, maybe this defense is going to be a little better. Then in the third series, Mariota made the Falcons defense look foolish. Marched them down the field, scored a touchdown, and I said, well, we'll have to score 50 points a game to beat anybody. Dan Quinn debuts as the head coach last night for the Atlanta Falcons. Some improvement on defense for Falcon fans, but when a rookie makes you look as bad as Mariota made and it was the second team on Mariota's third series, it was the second team defense he was going up against. But as you know, in the NFL, the second team defense plays a lot because they shift in and out quite regularly on defense. So still some holes to fill. Marcus Mariota, pretty good debut last night, though. I didn't catch Jameis Winston's debut. Have you heard anything about that?
Nothing. I haven't heard much about that.
The Bucks, they did play last night, didn't they? I think they played last night. We'll have to look that up. But Jameis Winston, the number 1 overall pick, did they play last night?
Not that I.
Yeah, I don't think they played last night. We're looking into that. Buddy was at FSU practice yesterday. He talked to Jimbo Fisher. We'll also talk to him about that. And also, in answer to your question, buddy, that's everybody who's wondering when they're looking at the WOCA.com feed on the website, it's picture-in-picture with the logo on there, and Dan Martone put that on there, and I'm not smart enough to figure out how to take it off yet. So that's, if you wonder why the logo's there and you can't see Luke's head, it's because I hadn't figured out how to take that off yet. That's all. So Buddy Martin coming up next. He was at FSU football practice yesterday. He'll give us an update there, plus talk a little bit about what he thinks can be garnered from the quotes that came out of practice at UF yesterday. We'll do that next on the Saturday Sports Page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Whenever you're searching for an attorney, you want somebody with knowledge who has a commitment to our community and our state. Such is the case with Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, in everything from car and other motor vehicle accidents, work accidents, personal injury, and wrongful death cases. Daniel L. Hightower also handles Social Security disability and bankruptcy. Call him today at 352-629-7777 or check out danhightower.com. Daniel L. Hightower, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. Do you experience body aches, joint, or muscle pain all over your body? Does it keep you up at night, interfere with your day, and leave you feeling tired and in pain? You could be suffering from fibromyalgia. Renstar Medical Research in Ocala is conducting a research study of investigational medication for individuals between the ages of 18 and 75 who have had widespread body pain or tenderness for at least 3 months. Qualified participants will receive study-related medical care and investigational medication at no cost. Compensation for insurance is not necessary to participate. If you experience body aches or suffer from fibromyalgia and would like to find out more information about this fibromyalgia study, please call Renstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's Renstar Medical Research, 352-629-5800. Renstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Are you looking for a durable farm fence to keep your horses enclosed, or a beautiful vinyl fence to give that finishing touch to your home? Seminole Fence has over 20 years of experience in providing quality fence products and services for farm and residential properties. Let them surround your property with a fence that provides privacy, security, and stunning appeal. Don't wait. Contact them today at 352-208-0959 for a free estimate. Seminole Fence, working hard to build fences and harder to build relationships.
Summer is dwindling down, and so is your wallet. Well, don't stress. Golf is still affordable at Pine Oaks Golf Club. You and a friend can take advantage of the $40 twosome. Pine Oaks offers a championship 18-hole golf course with a fully stocked pro shop and snack bar. So what are you waiting for? The $40 twosome at Pine Oaks is just what the summer ordered for you. So set your tee times now at pineoaksocala.com.
If you've been hearing about the crowded Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and were worried because you couldn't get in, I've got some good news for you. Seating is now available. While you're there, look up Chef Dave Del Rio. He'll buy you a drink. Now is the time for you to finally see firsthand what your friends are talking about at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Louisiana menu. Check out those gorgeous Lake Weir sunsets. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill on beautiful Lake Weir. Seating now available.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Page. Let's go out to the phone lines and talk to a guy who was at FSU practice yesterday over in Tallahassee. He spent the day in Tallahassee basking in the sunshine and the limelight. They probably rolled out the red carpet for this guy at FSU practice. Jimbo Fisher probably picked him up himself and brought him to practice. Buddy Martin. Buddy, how are you this morning?
Well, if you only knew the truth of that story, number one, I was running late from an appointment, and I put on my the GPS. It was about, only about 10 minutes away, and I'm trying to get to the Moore Athletic Center, and I put it on the Moore Circle, which is where I thought it was, and after about a half hour of driving around and finding that Moore Circle's in the middle of nowhere, and that was not the correct place for Moore Athletic Department, I frankly called the FSU SID and said, "Hey, I don't know where I am, but I'm coming." He said, "Well, Jimbo will be here in a minute, and he's only going to stay a few minutes. He's gone." Well, as luck would have it, after I GPSed my way back in and found it and parked and sprinted about a half a mile to get to the stadium, out of breath, walked up, and probably 30 seconds later, Jimbo walked up. And I was there with our friend Ira Schofel and a few other people, and had a chance to ask Jimbo a few questions about his quarterback situation. So...
Well,
it's not about who will.
Doesn't that seem to be a common theme, buddy, across the country? Quarterback questions.
Well, matter of fact, my question to him was, I was one of several people there in the press conference, including Ira Schofel. I said to him, "You've been successful with quarterbacks. These last two were first-round draft picks. What is there about these quarterbacks this year that people seem to have a hard time, finding their guy?" And he said, "You're right." He said, There do seem to be a dearth of quarterbacks for some reason, and they have not emerged yet." He said, "I don't really know why. In our case, we just haven't seen enough of our guys in practice." And yet, as I'm writing for my column on Southern Pigskin tomorrow, all three head coaches I've talked to about quarterbacks have similar issues and don't know who their guy's going to be, and that includes Steve Spurrier, who told me literally on the phone, not during the interview, but privately, that he's got three guys, and any three of them may start, and he may play all three. And Jimbo's got two, and McElwain's got two. And nobody's willing to make a commitment to him. I'm not sure if because they just want to fight for the job or what, but all the reports that came out were pretty much just, average or above for most of those guys. And I asked Jimbo about the traits of quarterbacks, Tom, and I told him what I heard from others when I asked that question of Jim McElwain and Steve Spurrier, had what they thought about it. McElwain's big ones was the being a leader. That's what he thought was important. And Spurrier said courage is important. And Jimbo didn't want to give me a direct answer. He's not really all of those things, he said, and each one has different qualities. So whether Everett Golson has experience, in the past at Notre Dame, and remember, he did take him to the BCA championship, beat his championship game as a freshman. He's going to make Everett Golson win that job outright. He's not going to give it to him. So I stayed for the interviews and talk to one of the wide receivers. The other common theme everybody's having, I noticed Jimbo Fisher's quotes yesterday. I also noticed Jim McElwain's quotes, and I noticed Steve Spurrier said the same thing, is they're really having a hard time finding the receivers. All of them, all three schools. Want to know who's it going to be. I noticed Jimbo said yesterday that he was, even this big tall guy, Robinson, he's got to teach him to go up for the ball like a rebound and fight for the ball. So So there's a process, and I think they're going through the process right now.
Well, are they going to have to live at Florida State? Are they going to have to live on the first couple games on the? And by the way, they open with Texas State, so
I don't have to worry about that.
I think they can figure out a quarterback situation for the Texas State game. But are they going to have to live on their defense, because they're without Dalvin Cook, the running back? We don't know if he's coming back or not. That story's still playing out. They're not secure at quarterback. Are they going to have to live with live through their defense for a couple of games till they figure it out?
Well, FSU's not without other running backs. They got some good running backs, and they'll be okay there, even without Dalvin Cook, who was a premier player. But you know what? I got a feeling Dalvin Cook will be back. He was granted his speedy trial. And he has said his attorneys do not want to plea. They're not going to accept the plea. So that tells me that his attorneys know they've got something. So I think his hearing is going to be the 2nd of September. So he might miss a game or two, but he'll be back. This is just a guess. I don't know anything. Nobody knows anything anymore. You know, everybody has to guess at this stuff. Because why? Because programs and coaches don't want to tell you anything. You just have to sort of sort it out and try to make 2 and 2 make 4 if you can. Although some days 2 and 2 makes 5 or 3, depending on who you talk to.
Well, I looked at one of the things that I think is a telling note about what you just said. Dalvin Cook, you feel like will probably return to Florida State. I saw a photo of the team photo for the 2015-2016 season. Dalvin Cook's in the photo, and the photo was taken a week ago. Their team photo was done a week ago, and Dalvin Cook's in the photo.
Well, they'll have to take it regardless. Maybe he took it both ways. Who knows? But yeah, I think they think he's going to be back. I don't know the whole story on this thing. This legal mumbo jumbo is hard to figure out. Everybody's got some issue, it seems like. Except really, Florida doesn't have one right now for a change, and Spurrier doesn't have any. And by the way, Spurrier genuinely likes his 3 quarterbacks. He might be the most positive guy about his quarterbacks of the 3 I talked to. Because talking to Jimbo Fisher and Jim McElwain, it's like, okay, we don't know what's going to happen there. Spurrier's quite frankly said, we're going to play them all 3, you know. And he likes all 3 of them.
Well,
he really does.
That Spurrier's used the 2 quarterback system quite a bit when he was at Florida. You know, I've seen him pull quarterbacks that were very good and set them down to bring in other quarterbacks because he didn't like what they had done one series in a football game.
Whenever Florida was trailing Auburn and Danny Werfel entered the second half of that game. And took it over, and they lost the game, but Danny Werfel was solidified there as the starting quarterback. So there's been, Jesse Palmer and Doug Johnson and on, and he has played quarterbacks, and I know he'll play, and really he's got 4 because if you take Pharaoh Cooper, a wide receiver, he is a terrific Wildcat quarterback, and Nunez is a terrific wild quarterback. Starnecchia, I haven't seen him, but apparently Connor Mitch has improved a good bit. So they got a lot of guys they can pick from. And there's no question. I mean, look, I haven't seen anything to lead me, and I said this for the Pigskin last week. You remember we talked about it. That the quarterback. Why wouldn't the quarterback be the guy that got taking the snaps? Right. Right. Seems like Will Grier's the guy. I mean, unless we're reading it all wrong, and I think he wants to give Treon Harris at least a fair look. Because it would be bad for the team if he didn't.
Well, speaking of that, Jim McElwain said, he thought it could be a disaster, so he didn't sleep very well on Thursday night. But after practice yesterday, he said, very pleased is where we are at this point. We have to keep loading the wagon and teaching. He said Will Grier got off to a fast start but was victimized by some drops. But that Treon Harris moved the ball better than Will Grier with the second team offense. And then they expounded on the fact that if you remember last year, Treon Harris got off to a very slow start in fall practice, but by the end of fall practice, he was able to be secure enough as the backup to Jeff Driscoll that they redshirted Will Grier. And then, as you know, he stepped in for Jeff Driscoll after Driscoll was abysmal and led Florida into its bowl game. So, could it be just that this kid, Treon Harris, starts slow and is finally starting to hit his stride now as evidenced yesterday?
Could be, and I'm on record as saying don't count him out yet. Because one thing he does is he has a quick release of the ball, and he throws the ball and run. I haven't seen enough of Will Grier yet to know he's the pure drop back guy. He's more like McElroy was for Alabama when McElwain was there. He fits a prototype McElwain quarterback, I think. He's taller, you know, and he likes tall quarterbacks. He's a pocket passer. He likes pocket passer quarterbacks. But the key words you just mentioned were move the ball. Whoever moves the chains is going to be the quarterback.
Well, yesterday we did have a couple guys get injured. Rafael Andrades and Matt Rowland both were knocked out of scrimmage. Andrades pulled something in the back of his leg, is what McElwain said. He said with Matt Rowland, he says, you know, it's something every week with that guy. So I couldn't tell you what it was. But 5 other players, Duke Dawson, offensive lineman Tavarius Dorsey, linebacker Anthony Harrell, running back Mark Herndon, and wide receiver C.J. Wharton were all held out due to injury. But McElwain says the injuries sustained by Dorsey and Wharton on Wednesday will not require surgery. So that's good. The most significant of those injuries was the one by Wharton, because it's, you know, he's a Florida wide receiver and they're short at wide receivers right now. But I mean, injuries are part of fall practice. But it looks like Florida, that none of these injuries are season ending.
And they're trying to get players back. I mean, they're obviously trying to get Antonio Morrison back. FSU trying to get their guy back, Dalvin Cook, for a different reason. And they're going to be rehabbing injuries. Other guys are going to get hurt. It's going to happen. That's why depth is important. And but we haven't got much longer. This is the 5th. We're halfway through August, my friend. You know, we're getting there. We only got another weekend or so before we got live action. As a matter of fact, on Thursday night, the 3rd, I'm hoping to be right there in Charlotte, North Carolina, for the Battle of the Carolinas, and see what happens between South Carolina and North Carolina, and then head on back down to Gainesville for the opener against New Mexico State.
That's
to see what's going on.
21 days from now.
Yeah, so it's going to be it's coming. Our summer is over, big guy.
Our summer is over. Hey, we got the first Marion County Friday night high school game of the week, thanks to the McDonald Allstate Agency and HDG Hotels, kicking off on the 28th. So we're right here at it, buddy.
You got it going. Who's on the call for that game?
That'd be Tom James and myself on the call. Mm-hmm. So, hey, buddy, let me ask you real quick.
Back together.
Yeah, let me ask you real quick before I let you go. Did you have a chance to see any of the preseason games the last 2 days?
I did. I was very surprised to see Tom Brady playing as much as he did, which tells me they think maybe they're going to get some kind of, he might be able to be. He won't get 4 games, I don't think. That's just my summation out of that. And I saw that abominable showing in the first quarter. With it was between the two teams who should be putting points up. Aaron Rodgers didn't look too good either, by the way.
No, he
went
didn't.
Forward on 4th down, and Brady was obviously sucking. At least he had an excuse. And then I watched a little bit of the Jaguars, and I saw Blake Bortles jump in the end zone, and everybody held their breath, thinking, "Oh no, hope he doesn't get hurt again." They look. I don't know what the final score. I don't care about the final score. I can't watch more than a half of a preseason game. I just can't watch it. So once they start pulling, when they get down to where they're playing the real guys in the 3rd quarter, then I'll start watching the whole game. Well, I flipped over and watched Rays baseball. I'm a Rays baseball fan.
Well, I watched a little bit of the Cleveland game, and I saw Manziel run for a touchdown and not do the money sign. That was a bonus. And then I watched every bit of the Falcons game last night because I want to see
how they look.
They look good on offense, as to be expected. Julio Jones looks like he's in mid-season form. Roddy White looks great. Matt Ryan's throwing the ball all over the yard. They're blocking well. No problem with the first team on offense. Problem is Marcus Mariota last night debuted for the Titans. Threw an interception the first series, fumbled the second series. So you thought, the Falcons, Dan Quinn's done some of this defense. And then the rookie made the Atlanta Falcons defense look terrible on his 3rd go-round.
Really. I watched about 3 minutes of that game, and when I watched it, Mariota wasn't in the game, so I flipped it. But so he looked pretty good?
He looked good after his first 2, and I write that off to rookie jitters or something, but he looked very good in his 3rd series, scored a touchdown, and the Atlanta Falcons looked like they got to score 50 points to beat anybody.
I think you're getting a little optimistic about your Falcons.
Well, if that defense doesn't come around, you're not going to be able to score 50 points in the NFL every game. And if that defense doesn't come around, they're going to give up 28, 29, 30 points a game, and that's a losing proposition in the NFL.
Well, speaking of which, by the way, losing propositions, looks like my boy Oostenhazen is not going to get there, but my other pick, Jason Day, on fire.
He is.
He's knocking it down. He's 5 under for this round, and he's 8 under. He's 9 under. He's right behind Matt Jones, the PGA and Whistling Straits. By the way, that course looks spectacular, doesn't it?
It really does.
And then how about Georgia Spieth, man? Lights it up 5 under yesterday. So he's back. He's at 6 under. So it's going to be an interesting day today in the PGA because they had to go back out a second time. And I watched Tiger when he was in the putting green walking out to finish up his holes. He did not want to be there.
He doesn't want
to get me out of here.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be there. And he's playing in Greensboro next weekend for the first time ever. Next week for the first time ever, trying to get FedEx Cup points. Interesting thing out of Whistling Straits yesterday. Jordan Spieth, as he's finishing putting out in the 8th hole, the camera pans over to a guy that's clapping for him, a guy in a pair of sunglasses and a ball cap, and the guy starts to walk. Guy starts to walk off, and somebody yells, "Is that Aaron Rodgers?" And Aaron turns around and smiles, and one of the offensive linemen waves. By the time Jordan Spieth and those guys get to the 9th hole, green, nobody's even paying attention to Jordan Spieth that he's finishing a 5 under round. They're all sitting over there going, Rodgers, cheering for Aaron Rodgers instead of clapping for one of the best golfers in the world coming up to the green. Aaron Rodgers ended up stealing Jordan Spieth's thunder yesterday with his 5 under 67.
Yeah, I heard the interview that he did on PGA Tour Radio, which thankfully I had on travel. It's always good to have that. They asked him if he met me. He said, "I never have met him." He said, "Do you know he was out there?" He said, "No, I didn't know he was there. You just told me." So he admits that he's so focused. And he said, "Well, would you be starstruck if you met him?" He said, "No, I'm starstruck. But I'd like to meet him. I think it's really cool. He's a great quarterback." So I have a feeling they'll be meeting this weekend.
I'm certain that they will. Buddy Martin, when can we look for your when can and where can we look for your column this weekend?
Well, after I have lunch with my old friend Jim Conrad from Channel 2 in Denver today, he's passing through. I'll be writing that this afternoon while I'm watching the PGA Show. About 6 to 9, we should be able to read something on SouthernPigskin.com on Jimbo Fisher live from Bobby Bowden Field, talking to him as well as about some of the things I learned about quarterbacks talking to other head ball coaches. You have a good afternoon and a good weekend.
So SouthernPigskin.com and BuddyMartinMedia.com, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, buddy. Have a great weekend. Enjoy golf.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Buddy Martin, Buddy Martin of the Buddy Martin Sports page, SouthernPigskin.com, BuddyMartinMedia.com, the voice of Ocala. He's just everywhere. Writing Steve Spurrier's helping Steve Spurrier write his autobiography. The man's just everywhere, Luke. He's everywhere. We're going to take a break. We come back. Jason Linhart, the general manager for Billy Casper's Ocala Golf Club. He joins us next to talk the PGA Tour, the PGA Championship, right here on Saturday Sports Page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY only $4.99. Plus DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock & Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock & Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock & Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Ooh, ouch. Does pain have you glued to the couch? Yes, unfortunately it's true that every year we must get older, but that doesn't mean we have to deal with pain in our back, knees, or shoulder. If your muscles and joints are sore, don't worry anymore. Come get acupuncture from me and you'll be pain-free. Acupuncture starts as low as $35 at a Better You Healthcare. Call me, Dr. Erica Olstein, at 615-5566. Stop your pain from driving you insane.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood, and when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Page. Let's go right out to the phone lines and talk to the general manager of Billy Casper's Ocala Golf Club, Jason Linhart. Jason, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, my pleasure, Tom. Always good to talk to you.
Jason, have you had a chance? I know you're busy out there. You got a lot going on at the golf course, but have you had a chance to watch any of the PGA Championship this week?
I caught a lot of it on Thursday and bits and pieces yesterday, but it looks like it's shaping up to be a great event.
You know, just without talking about the event, just the course itself. Whistling Straits is one of those courses that just makes you want to go and see that place. Don't you agree? I agree. I'm a particular fan of links golf in the first place. So when you're there, and I think the course is in excellent shape, and I've seen some great photos. It's been very photogenic this week. It's breathtaking. Well, I know that I would agree with you. I'm not real sure John Daly would agree with you, though. As yesterday, one of the most scenic holes on the golf course, the par 3 that runs along Lake Michigan, John Daly puts 2 into Lake Michigan, then finally puts 1 on the green. Then the club ends up in Lake Michigan. Now, let me ask you, because you're a PGA professional, let me ask you, when that happens, that club, he's just without that club the rest of the round. It can't be replaced, correct?
You know, if he breaks a club during a round, you know, if there's times between holes, he can replace a broken club if there's, you know, within time. But I'm not sure under those circumstances the rules would pertain to it. But he did admit he threw the wrong club. I think he wanted to throw the other one in that started the thing. So
yeah, the 4-iron's what he wanted to throw. The 6-iron's what he wanted to throw, but he threw the 4-iron.
Yeah.
You know, I wish John Daly was a little better at golf so he'd be on TV a little more, because he's great for the common man to want to watch golf.
He is. He's colorful and always. I really, you know, I miss seeing him on TV, just like you said. You're right.
Let me ask you this question. Jordan Spieth wins the Masters. He wins the U.S. Open. He has an abysmal day at the first at the Brit, not an abysmal, but a bad day the opening at the British, or was that? Yeah. Then he comes back. He finishes second there, just a whisker out of first place. Now yesterday fires a 5 under 67. Is it time to say this kid is the next big thing?
Gosh, we want to say that. I really want to say that because I think it's not just what he does on the course that's so spectacular about him. It's the way he carries himself off the course. You really believe in what he's doing. He's just totally correct with the media and everything of that nature. So yeah, I want to say that. But we know golf. I mean, you brought up an example. John Daly. He was the next greatest thing, and put 2 majors under his belt, and then kind of fell off. So it's a very the game of golf is so unpredictable, and it can change so radically, so quickly. But I believe he's there because between his ears, he has it.
And that to me, between the ears is the important thing, and that's where I think everybody's talking about Tiger Woods' swing and his putt and all. I believe Tiger Woods' biggest problem is in between his 2 ears, and now we find out he commits to Greensboro because he's still 300 points out of the FedEx Cup and trying to make the FedEx Cup. He's going to miss the cut today. And I don't think I would shut it down if I was Tiger Woods and come back next year. He's not going to make the FedEx Cup. I don't see the reason for Tiger Woods to still play. Am I wrong there?
I don't know if you're wrong. I've been always wanting him. I always was saying I agree with you being between the ears, and the only way I felt he was going to make a comeback is if he would get out on the tour and play more and get a little bit more tournament tough. I think his selections and not having a busy schedule is at this point I think he needs to get busy and get out there and learn to compete a little bit more, because these boys they are the ones that looked up to him and is winning. They're out there to beat him, so he's going to have to take a whole new level to his game to be the Tiger that we're used to seeing.
When you go back and look, though, and I've done some looking over the last 4 or 5 days at Tiger Woods' career. When you go back and look, it was Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, and then the rest of the tour. Although there were some good players out there, these two were really heads and shoulders above everybody else on the tour for most of the time of his career. Then the Thanksgiving Day, the Thanksgiving holiday event happens with his wife. We all know that, documented well. The stories come out about Tiger's private life and everything. We all know that well. He takes time off. He comes back. He has the knee injury. He's struggling after he wins the U.S. Open. Now he's got injuries and everything, so he's been trying to heal. And as he's trying to heal, a new group of golfers, 20, 21, 22, 23 years old, have showed up now, into their 27s, 28 with Dustin Johnson and all, that are just as good as Tiger and Phil were in their heyday, if not better because of their length and everything. Can some of this be attributed to just the competition has gotten so much better?
Yeah, you hit it right on the head there. The competition is the PGA Tour is very healthy. I mean, there's talent, and there's talent coming behind them. I think that's even obvious in the collegiate area, and even in some of the junior events I've seen at Ocala Golf Club since I've been here. I've seen some great players come in and just saying, wow, he continues his tour. I mean,
I think that with the way with the way the game has evolved, and I've watched golf since I was a little kid. I'm 49 now, so I've watched golf the better part of 40 years. And Jack was there, and Johnny Miller was there, and then Nick Faldo was there, then Greg Norman was there, and Tom Watson was there, Lee Trevino was there, then Greg Norman, then Faldo, then Tiger and Phil. It's always been a 1, 2, or 3 person tour with the other guys there making money, but not really. You didn't really think that they had a shot as much as the 2 or 3 top guys. I think now there's 25 or 30 guys that could win every weekend. Have we lost? Did we lose Jason? Oh, we lost Jason. Try to get Jason back on the phone. we seem to have hit the redial and call him back. We seem to have lost Jason. So we'll try to get Jason back. But I think the point's well made that the tour, for as long as I can remember it, had, 2 or 3 guys that were the stalwarts of the tour. You always had guys that were a little better and all. You always, and I think we got Jason back on. Jason, before we lost you, I asked the question of, I've been around this game now for the better part of 40 years, playing it and watching it. And you had the Jack Nicklauses and the Lee Trevinos and the Tom Watsons and Johnny Millers all during a time period from the late 60s through the 70s and the early 80s. Then you had Greg Norman and Nick Faldo. Then you had Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. That you only had 2 or 3 top talented guys. Then you had the rest of the tour. Now you got 30, 40 guys that can win any Sunday. And you wouldn't say, well, wow, that came out of nowhere. Like Lingmerth. Lingmerth's one of the best players in the world. And some people, if you don't follow golf, would say, who's that guy?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I was. It's a great observation, Tom. The tour is definitely healthy, and there's a lot more talent coming through the college and some of the junior programs these days. And yes, the influence of Mickelson and Tiger and even Jack Nicklaus and stuff is really proven to bring this talent out to the tour, and we get entertained every week with some great golf, and you can't there's no way I could have predicted who was going to win the PGA championship. It gets harder to predict those things, and I think that's what's so neat about every day, every weekend now. You have 5 or 6 people in the hunt, and it's exciting to watch.
It really is exciting to watch. Speaking of exciting to watch, I'm watching the greens grow in out there at Ocala Golf Club. Can you give me, every day I drive by, they look like they're getting greener and greener. Can we get an update on where we're at with the rebuilding of the greens and the bunkers at Ocala Golf Club?
Well, absolutely. The greens, all 18 greens, are sprigged. They've been sprigged now for 2 weeks. They are looking really good. We believe we're on schedule. We're still looking for a end of the month, September, for the openings of the greens. The bunker renovations will start on Monday. My parking lot is full of equipment, drainage, and sand for that project to start. So and that's a 4-week project. So by the time we open in late September, early October, we're going to have some great greens with TifEagle greens, which I think most golfers are familiar with and know that it's a really solid putting surface. So our big events this year will experience some very good fast greens for the tournaments. And of course, day-to-day operations, we won't keep them that fast, but they're going to putt really good.
So still open for business. So even though you are doing the renovation of all the greens, all 18 holes still open for business at Ocala Golf Club at a discounted rate. Am I to understand that right?
Yes, we lowered our rate down to $17 for before 1 o'clock, 12 after, because you are playing on temporary greens, and I do have some feedback from some of our members that are playing some of their best golf, because once you get on these greens, you can make birdies really easy because they're not that big. It's just hitting them is hard.
Well, there you go. Jason Linhart, Ocala Golf Club, thanks so much for joining us today, and hope people get out there. If they want to book a tee time, give me a number or a website they can go to.
Well, the website is ocalagolfclub.com, and the phone number is 352-401-6917.
Jason Linhart, the general manager of Billy Casper's Ocala Golf Club. Jason, thanks for joining us this morning.
Well, thanks for having me, Tom.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the Saturday Sports page right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala. Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Nestled in the heart of horse country, just off I-75 exit 354, the award-winning and newly refreshed Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala invites you to pamper yourself in one of our comfy guest rooms. Enjoy our free and fast Wi-Fi, heated outdoor swimming pool, 24-hour fitness center, and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt golf, and a car wash. Go happy, go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala, proud sponsor of Friday Night High School Football on WOCA, The Source.
Your quality of life is meant to be fully enjoyed each day. The doctors at Ayers Global understand that and strive to provide a quality of life for you that has no equal. Ayers Therapeutic Services combines naturopathic and family medicine to help all your health needs. Diabetic management, hypertension, pain management, and anti-aging are just a few of the services offered by the Ayers family. Call 352-512-0222 today, and Ayers Therapeutic Services will help you begin to understand that better health begins with you.
Do you remember when summer was a celebration? You know, no schools, no worries, just days packed with your favorite pastime. It was the splendid season you dreamed of all year long. But as you got older and busier, the summer seemed to lose its sparkle. Where did those carefree days go? Well, they're closer than you think. Summer's still sensational at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club, where you can come out and play the grown-up way with our affordable summer memberships. Enjoy our championship golf course celebrating the game's greatest holes, hard-true tennis courts, and a state-of-the-art fitness center. Explore our stately 77,000 square foot clubhouse and unwind at our relaxing spa.
Don't forget the pool!
It's a summer unlike any other, and it's yours with a Golden Ocala summer membership. You can call Golden Ocala at 629-6229 to inquire about a summer membership, or you can visit goldenocala.com to learn more. That's goldenocala.com. Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Page as we wrap up this edition of the Saturday Sports Page. Let's get a quick update on the PGA Championship scoreboard, Luke.
All right, well, at the very top, you've got Matt Jones, and Matt Jones...
Is he 11 under?
Yep, 11 under. Jason Day is 9 under. Third, Justin Rose is 8 under. David Lingmerth, 7 under. Tied with Tony Finau, which is 7 under, as well as Anirban Lahiri.
Okay.
Yep, so that's a name for you. Jordan Spieth, after the rough first day, he's 6 under, and he's tied with Scott Percy and Brendan Steele.
And then you got Dustin Johnson at 5 under, had a rough day yesterday, leader from day one. Where's Phil Mickelson?
Mickelson is 1 over, and Tiger Woods, continuing to struggle, is 4 over.
And the cut line's going to be at 1, projected to be at 1 over. So looks like Tiger's going to miss another cut in a major. So, maybe Jason Linhart's right. Tiger needs to play more. We're going to wrap up the show with this funny story out of Waco, Texas. Baylor officials insist it's a fluke that the number 61 and 58 are side by side in the Bears' new football team photo. In the front row of the Baylor photo taken this week, 2 senior offensive linemen, number 61 Gerald Broxton and number 58 Spencer Drango, they're in that order with Coach Art Briles close behind them. Weird coincidence, Baylor spokesman Heather Nielsen said Friday. Hard to believe, I know. Nielsen said players were sorted by class. Seniors were on the front row with Briles, then sorted by height by the out-of-town photographer during the shoot Thursday. Big 12 co-champs Baylor and TCU both left out of the college football playoffs last season. The reason this might be weird, that people think this is more than a coincidence, 61-58. Well, that was the score Baylor beat TCU by last year. 61-58 was the score that the Horned Frogs lost to Baylor last season, and then 61-58 are side by side on the front row in the middle of the team photo with the head coach right there.
Do you think that's coincidence, Tom?
Not even close. That is a great shot taken by the Baylor Bears at the TCU Horned Frogs, two teams that should be battling for the top spot in the Big 12 again. And that's just, I mean, come on. That's too random to be coincidental. 61-58, that's the score of the game against one of your big rivals who you beat last year and who you're supposed to be competing with against this year for the top spot in your conference. That is Coach Spurrier-esque. I would see Steve Spurrier doing something like that. Believe me, if he could have got away with it, he'd have put 52 and 20 beside each other for the Florida State-Florida national championship game in 96. The 97 team photo, if he could have, would have had 52-20 next to each other, with him in the picture.
I think that's a huge thing with college football players. They're all so competitive, but you've seen oftentimes they have a big sense of humor.
They'll take shots.
That was great.
Hey, this evening, 8 o'clock, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the debut of Famous Jameis as an NFL football player. We'll see how that comes out. Tonight, the Bucs take the field. A lot of questions for the Bucs. Quarterback's not going to get them over the hump. They need a whole lot of help in Tampa Bay. And Lovie Smith is just going to have to – Famous Jameis may help a little bit, but they need a whole lot more help.
And they're playing Minnesota?
Than Famous Jameis. Playing the Minnesota Vikings at Minnesota. Teddy Bridgewater with the help of Adrian Peterson. We'll see how that works out for Minnesota. Hey, I want to thank my guest today, Buddy Martin of the Buddy Martin Sports page, the voice of Ocala, and the general manager of Billy Casper Golf, Jason Linhart. For Luke Sylvia, I'm Tom Schmidt saying, have a great morning, everyone.
Amenities in a charming and small-town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees,